Hey friends, Daniel here. I'm the lead pastor of Upside Down Church, also one of the guitarists. And we discovered a need to develop more musicians for the church. Also had a lot of requests for training, and specifically in acoustic guitar. So that's the point of this video. We're going to call this very beginner in guitar. So if you just received your guitar or you know nothing, this video is for you. Join us as we discover this amazing instrument. Also discover some music theory as we go. We'll try and teach you some songs. The purpose is specifically for worship. So either you want to worship God in your own quiet time and you want to be able to pick up the guitar and just bring praises to Jesus, or you're looking to join the worship team, you're looking to start playing in the worship team. We're going to do the anatomy of acoustic guitar and just take these videos as what they are. The focus is to teach people the basics to be able to worship, and that's my heart. Is I want to teach you to worship. I'm not a very technical guitarist. I play to honor Jesus. So let's look at it. Let's look at the guitar. We'll start off with the anatomy of the guitar. First off, we have the head. These little thingies are called tuning pegs. It's how you tune your guitar. As you turn them, you tighten or loosen the strings. Then if you carry on, this little thingy here is called the nut. The nut holds the strings in place, but the nut also gives you the value of the string. You'll understand that now, don't stress too much. Each string, now these are your strings, each string has a specific value. The values or notes or names is determined by the nut. So the nut determines the name of the note. So just imagine that there is someone holding a finger on each one of those strings, and that determines the note. Now if I take that finger, imaginary finger there, and I move it to the next fret, so these little metal strips are called frets. If I move it to the next fret, I change the note. So that is an E, an open E. But if I put my finger down on the first fret, on the sixth string, it makes it a F. Sure, yeah, it makes it a F, yeah. Now, how that works is, let's quickly just talk about the values. It's a good thing to get a little rhyme going, to learn each string, learn their names. I've got a little rhyme. Somebody taught me this at varsity, and that's the one I use. I know there's other ones also. So the rhyme goes like this. Every Alsatian dog's got big ears. So it's E, A, D, G, B, E. Every Alsatian dog's got big ears. Now that's the values of each of the strings. Another thing is the bottom string is your first string. It's important to know that because later on when we look at tabs, explain tabs in another video, you'll see that it's based on numbers and it numbers the strings. So the bottom string is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember that. Carrying on with the guitar, so strings, frets, and then each fret, then this is the neck, so you'll see they'll call it the guitar neck, and then also each fret has a different name, and that is determined by you simply moving your finger to each fret, and every time you press down you change the note. Those notes are determined by the musical alphabet. The musical alphabet is the ABCs with a little bit of a twist, just to make things more interesting. The musical alphabet goes like this. I'm going to start at E, so that's E. Then you have F, F sharp or G flat. Then you have G, G sharp or A flat. Then you have A. Then you have A sharp or B flat. Then you have B. Then you have C. So quickly see. Quickly look at this, that between B and C you don't have sharps and flats. Don't worry too much about what I'm saying. Just listen, and as we go along it will make more sense. So between B and C there's no sharps and flats. Then you have C sharp or D flat. Then you have D. Then you have D sharp or E flat, and then we're back to E. So now you've run through all the notes, all 12 notes, and then that simply is, it's the alphabet. I'll put it up on the screen so that you can see it. But your job would be to learn those notes. And for the first, I would say for the first lesson, try to memorize the first two strings. So if we just looked at E, now if we had to look at the next string, which is every Alsatian, so it's A, the string is A, starts with A. After A, you get A sharp or B flat. Next one's B, next one is C, next one is C sharp or D flat, next one is D, next one is D sharp or E flat, next one is E. F, between E and F, there's also no sharps or flats. After F, you get F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp, A flat, and then A again. Something interesting to look at, you'll see on your guitar, if I turn the guitar like this, I hope you can see it, there's two little dots there. Most guitars have those two little dots. Some guitars even put two dots like that. Not this one. It's got the little Fender sign on there. But that is the 12th one. So you know that when whatever note the guitar starts on, it starts over there. You start there again. So if I have to press, then it's again. It's every Alsatian dog's got big ears. Okay, so don't stress too much. Try and figure it out and try to figure out where those notes fall, especially on the first two strings. And you'll use that for the rest of your music career, is to know where the notes sit on the guitar. Just quickly carry on. This is the body of the guitar. This is called the sound hole. This specific guitar is a semi-acoustic because it's got electronics inside. Now the electronics, what they do is they compute the signal, change it into a digital signal. There's a little amp built inside the guitar and it sends it to an output. The output then goes to an amp or it goes to your system at church. And it amplifies what you're playing here. Some of the more high-end guitars have mics inside. The pickups get more expensive and better. So it depends on which guitar you have, which pickup it will have in. Some guitars like this one has a tuner built inside. And while we are there, we'll quickly look at tuning. So back to every Alsatian dog's got big ears. When you tune your guitar, when you have an app or you have a little tuner, I had one just here now, but download an app or get a tuner. When you play your string, you'll see there's this little thing jumping either higher or lower. And the idea is you need to get your string to those values. So if you tune your guitar, you must tune your guitar to E. If you tune your top string, it's E6. Make sure that your top string is E6. Next string is A5, and you carry on. Or you start at the bottom, E1, B2. You get what I'm saying. I know I'm running through this very fast, but I just want you to get you going. And yeah, so that's the guitar. That's the basic. Also important maybe is this is called the bridge, and this is called the saddle. Now the saddle is important, especially for the playability of your guitar. If the saddle isn't set up correctly, you'll have two problems. The first problem would be that the saddle's too high. And what happens then is your strings tend to be too far away from the neck. And then you have to press so much harder to play the guitar. Especially when you're starting, you'll know what I'm saying, because your fingers start hurting a lot. So you want to make sure your guitar is set up right, and then the playability of the guitar is just better. Other problem is that it's too low. What happens then is if you play a note, it's not clear and crisp. Sometimes the strings hit against the neck because it's just too close. So you need to, I would really suggest you take your guitar to a professional guy, get a proper setup done. It will just benefit you as you develop and as you get better. Great guys over here in Roodepoort, Fouché Guitars. Shout out to Fouché Guitars. Probably the best guitar setup you will get for, well, not just for money's worth, but one of the best guitar setups you will get. I will post their details on the screen and also in the description. Go check them out. Some great instruments and great prices and great coffee as well, if you're interested in that. Let's carry on. So we're going to look at a song. We're going to look at How Great Is Our God from Chris Tomlin. And unfortunately, after this video, you won't be able to play it yet. The next video, we will take the song and start playing it. I'm just giving you an introduction to music so that you have some background and just be able to start at least. Now, music has different parts. You have your chords, your main your chords, right? Or your rhythm, rather. This is your rhythm. And then from your rhythm, you can also hear a melody line in there. Especially if you know the song, you can hear the melody in the rhythm. The melody is where your vocalist would sing. So it would be the wave the vocalist sings on that gives the song its personality. The rhythm gives the heartbeat. The rhythm is also connected to the drummer, and which makes the acoustic guitar such an amazing instrument. It's actually a rhythm instrument, but you can do pretty much any song with the acoustic guitar alone. Then you have your tempo. Now, what's a tempo? What's the difference between tempo and rhythm? So rhythm is that constant beat we play on. Tempo is the speed we play that rhythm on. Okay, now we're going to quickly look at music, at sheet music and how we read music. I'm not going to go in too much depth. I just want to make you feel a bit more comfortable with what we're looking at. The first thing we look at on the top is the name of the song, and then on the right hand you have the artist name and the details of the song. Then you carry on a little bit lower. You'll see on the left hand side there's BPM with a little number. That number is the tempo of the song. We've just spoken about tempo, the speed of the rhythm. It's the speed the drummer plays on, and it's the speed that the rest of the band needs to follow the drummer on. Then if you carry on now, you get these lines. These lines represent it's not your guitar strings, but they represent notes. And we'll look at that specifically later on. For most worship stuff, especially on guitar, you're not going to find that. I just want to show you a couple of important things. Then you have the treble clef. Now that sign, that symbol, means that this is the melody line. If you play these notes, you are playing the melody. Then the next thing you see, there's this little sharp hashtag sign on a specific note. That indicates the key, or it indicates which note in this key has a sharp in. Also, don't worry too much about what I'm saying. It will make sense later. Next thing, and this is what I want to get to, it's that 4/4. And that simply means that this song is written in a 4 beat. And that means that you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to count that on the tempo. In this case, it's 76. You're going to set your metronome on 76. And you're going to just start doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in every bar, you'll find chords. Now, the chords you play over the melody. If you have a piano or a lead guitarist, the lead guitarist or the pianist will play the melody, and you would keep the rhythm with the drummer, and you'll play the chords. Now, if you look there, just above those lines, there's letters. The first letter you see there is a G, and the next one you get is a E, little m, and a 7, and that is a E minor 7th. And then if you go to the next line, just below that, you have a C2. And then if you follow along, you get another G. Now, this song is written in the key of G. We'll also explain that later. It just means that the pitch of the song, whether the song is low or high, is determined by the key. The key is G. Sometimes we change the key of a song to fit our voices, or in church specifically, we will change the key of a song for the congregation to be able to sing it easier. Often, the guys that do this for a living, they'll record the songs much higher than it is able for the church to sing. Because it's a recording. They need to make this sound really good. And we then will transpose it to an easier key. We are looking at the key of G. Now, if you take those 4 chords there, we'll simplify it a little bit for the sake of this first video, but next video we'll look at the chords. But for now, the 4 chords that we're playing for Our Great Is Our God, if you have these 4 chords down, you can sing and play thousands of worship songs. Now, if you learn those 4 chords, you'll be able to play most of the worship stuff. And I think we're going to stop there for today. I want to give you some homework, some things that you need to go look at. Don't worry too much about anything. I think pick up your guitar, start feeling your guitar, play with your guitar, try to tune your guitar, try to get that every Alsatian dog's got big ears down. Try to start figuring out where each note sits. Look at the music alphabet, understand that. And then one thing I'm going to give you, I'll add it in the description. I'll give you a drum beat on the right tempo. And then what you need to go do is go and count that drum beat. Start hearing that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another thing that you can start doing is just take your hand, hold your hand over the guitar neck, and just play with that drum beat so that you get that down. And I know, guys, this is a bit frustrating because you want to start playing songs. But if somebody had taught me these things before I started fiddling around and started learning bad habits, then I would be much further today. So go and practice those things. Figure out where the notes are on the neck. Figure out that rhythm. And go look at the music. I'll add that into the description as well. And just start looking and figuring out how it looks and how it sounds and feels. Go and listen to this song a couple of times. Then when you watch the next video, you've got the song down, you know the melody in your head. When I play that chord, you can already hear, okay, I can hear that the right notes is in the chord so that I can hear the melody. Okay, guys, I hope this was good for you. I hope it's beneficial. I pray that God blesses you on this journey to learn the guitar,